It's 2023, and now the Eagles have to win today. I mean, they need this win to solidify and lock up home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Getting a win against the Saints not only helps them do that, but it also sets them back. Remember, we got their draft pick next year, their first-round draft pick. So there's a lot of factors, but we know now that Gardner Minshew will be the starting quarterback today, and Jalen Hurts is once again on the bench.
Well, I think, and I thought Minshew played great last week. Put it this way, he has no pressure if you know your role is the backup quarterback, because Jalen Hurts has an MVP type of season. And, so you have zero pressure. Remember Nick Foles, how good he played as a backup role.
Right.
As he played as a starter, not that great.
Right.
I don't think he played very long. But as a backup, he went out there and just played with such swag. He was great. I think he did fantastic.
I was a second-string quarterback in high school. I was the second-string quarterback in college. And I always have a soft spot in my heart for the backup quarterback because it's a tough job. I mean, you have to go out there and perform like you have to prepare like you're going to play especially in the NFL. You have to go out there and prepare like you're going to play every game because at a moment, especially in the NFL, you could be in there.
Yeah,
it could be your gig.
It's his job right now. However, he knows his role is the backup. Zero pressure now, I think, or at least the coaches will tell him, like, hey, no pressure. Just go out there, throw the ball, sling your arm, do your thing, have some swag. Which he's full of. He soaks in swag.
He seems like he's really cool. Like there's ice water running through his veins.
Yeah, he
didn't look like he got too upset. I mean, he did one of the interceptions. I didn't think it was his fault. The one to Quez Watkins. You know how he did a little slant in that the Cowboys second quarterback jumped the route. Yeah. And they was like a 50-50 ball on a slant. As a former wide receiver, you want to get that inside
down, get it down.
You want to get in there, right?
That's when you.
Who's that, on the quarterback or the receiver?
The receiver on a slant has to cross the face of the defensive back. That's the only.
You can't let him
the
get
Todd
from
Pinkston
you.
rule.
Yeah,
Remember the Todd Pinkston rule? He stepped behind and they pick sixed him by McNabb back in the Super Bowl. But you always cross the face, and then the quarterback has to lead you down. Because, you have to catch the ball low. If you catch it high, you get blown up by a safety. Right. You want to catch the ball low to the ground and in front of you. You're a quarterback.
Yeah. Well, you always want to lead your runner, receiver. But when you're in close, tight like that, you got to really –
you want to reach for the slant. Because if he's slowing down, the defensive back is right on top of you. So you want to run into or reach for the slant. I would leave that on the quarterback.
Well, we got a great show lined up today. We're broadcasting live from yesterday's Creekside Tavern here in Marmora for our Eagles pregame show. Eddie B, Sean, the bartender, they're all here today. This place is going to be jumping later on as we get ready for Eagles football. This is a big Sunday. And we're going to bring Josh Hennig in here. Josh, I know last night there was a couple bowl games. Before we get Josh into the Eagles talk, I know you're a big college football guy.
Big college football guy.
First of all, Josh, I want to get your take on it real quick. This whole bowl week has been outstanding. There have been some great games to watch, coming down to the wire, overtime games, and then Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, nothing but great games all day long.
So here's the thing you need to know. So before yesterday's games, which obviously all three bowl games were incredible, and I'm sure here at yesterday's Creekside Tavern, Marmora, place was jumping yesterday, not just for New Year's Eve, but for all the bowl games. Probably a conflicted crowd.
Right.
Half the crowd's watching the game. Probably half the crowd is here just to get boozed up for New Year's. But, it's one of those deals where before yesterday, all bowl games across the board, viewership was up 20%.
Yeah.
20%. Now, that's compared to pre-COVID numbers. Sports across the board are making record numbers in viewership right now. So can you imagine what that number was?
But the games have been great. That's a contributing factor.
I think it helps. Look, the Eagles Cowboys was the most watched NFL game last weekend.
Yeah.
Of all the games. It made more viewers than all the NBA games on Christmas Day combined.
Wow, that's big.
So if you want to know if today's Eagles game is going to have attention, well, you better keep it tuned here to Locker Room with Billy Schwan live at yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora.
All right.
I was waiting for the punchline on that.
Not only that, Dave Klemic, it's January 1st, 2023. It's beautiful outside. It's like high 50s, sunshine. The rain looks like it's going out.
I was going to wear shorts over here today.
Yeah, man.
Billy is wearing shorts.
No, I don't have my shorts on today. I should have. But listen, the weather is cooperating. I mean, I know football players really don't. They say they don't care.
I do.
You care, right?
I care.
See, that's why. See how
Dave,
see how
I
honesty
care.
is. See how honesty is because you hear the players they
But
don't.
that's because, really quick,
but it does.
isn't it also, Dave, because of the fact that your job is impacted by the field conditions?
Yeah, 100%. Your ability to carve a route totally depends on the stiffness of the field, how or like the looseness. Definitely the looseness that'll mess up anybody. But yeah, the field conditions mess up your receivers.
Right.
The running backs, you put your bigger running backs in on
people don't want to.
most of your
Let's
fields.
face it.
Yeah.
Defensive guys don't want to get hit. They don't want. They want to
Dish out the punishment.
Dish
They
out
don't
the
want to
punishment,
get the punishment.
especially when it's cold.
Yeah.
But when you just said get the big back and run right at them, they don't like that.
No, especially
no
when
one
it's cold,
does.
it hurts more. It
Yeah.
hurts more if you bang your hand at all
Right.
on a helmet in the cold. It's killing you. Oh yeah.
So the weather's cooperating. We're down here at Yesterday's. We're going to have a blast today. It's going to get a big crowd. New Year's Day crowd here at Yesterday's. Come on down. They got $3 Miller Lite drafts, $8 Miller Lite pitchers, specialty drinks, and, of course, their bar menu today is outstanding. I mean, we're going to be eating those Nashville chicken sliders there, Dave Klemic. I know you like that one. My brother likes the nachos. The nachos he said it's like steak in there. It's like the nachos, it's a lot.
I'm going to put some weight on today. My wife's a clinical nutritionist. She'd not have this, but I'm going to hit that with.
By the way,
you
we
too.
should say on the air, congratulations to Dave
Oh,
on
yes.
the birth of his
I've been
second
remiss.
child.
Thank you.
Congratulations,
Thank you guys. Thanks,
Dave.
Josh. Yeah.
Dave's wife gave birth to a baby girl.
Speaking of his
Was
wife.
that Thursday?
Yes.
Thursday.
The 29th. Yeah.
Sent me a picture of a bouncing baby girl.
Yeah. Andy
I
Savannah.
love that
yeah.
name.
Thank
Andy
you.
for a girl.
From
That's
Goonies.
awesome. So what do you got a girl and boy now?
No, two girls.
Two girls.
Callie Joe and
Okay.
Andy Savannah.
I have two girls. I have Andrea and Eliza Grace. So
Look at you. You guys are like twins.
yeah. Girl dads.
All right. We're broadcasting live from yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora for our Eagles pregame show. We got a great show lined up. Of course, at the bottom of the first hour here, we got the keys to the game with Scott Grayson from Fox 29 News, brought to you by Brill Pools. Hour 2, we'll talk to the fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley, brought to you by Padula Masonry. Want to remind people the first hour of the locker room was powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts that will help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing, from the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. I went to a party last night and I ran into a fella that knows Ron Conklin really well. And
Of course you did.
They call him. They have a nickname for him, and I forget it offhand, but I'm going to look it up. But Reno Ron, they call him. I said he's got to call in with his picks for the show. They could call him Reno Ron. Hey, the locker room at Blitz's Market want to discount your Eagles game day during the Eagles season on game day. Get a turkey or Italian hoagie for just $5 when you mention the locker room. Get down to Blitz's all season long at 21st and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Blitz's now has online ordering at blitzesmarkets.com or give them a call at 609-399-9983. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more here as we broadcast live from yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora, New Jersey for our Eagles pregame show. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein, Dave Klemic, and Josh Hennig right here on 97.3 ESPN.
This is the radio home for Philadelphia Eagles football. The Eagles continue the season later today, hosting the New Orleans Saints.
Minshew takes the snap. He backs up. He looks. He is looping it, catching it. Goddard in for a second touchdown.
Pre-game coverage starts at noon with Merrill Reese and Mike Quick calling all the action starting at 1 p.m. This is where the Philadelphia Eagles play. 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's official Eagles station.
Ocean City's real estate market is red hot. You need an agent that has the knowledge and expertise to help. Contact Ocean City's top agent, Mark Grimes. Mark has been selling real estate for 30 years in South Jersey. He can answer all your real estate questions and find you the perfect property. He's available anytime on his cell at 609-425-2042. When Philadelphia star athletes are looking for a house at the beach, they contact Mark Grimes, specializing in buying and selling vacation homes, single-family homes, condominiums, and duplexes, residential and commercial, as well as new construction projects or investment opportunities. Mark Grimes, he's your agent at the beach. Give him a call right now, 609-425-2042, or check out his website at grimes.com.
Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, the pizza you're gonna love. It's got the freshest taste that you'll find any place. Randazzo's Pizza, there's one right nearby. Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza. It's a pizza like you've never had before. Eat it or take it home, no matter where you roam. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Why would you call anyone else besides Randazzo's Pizzeria and Family Restaurant, 34th and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Open year-round, 7 days a week, offering free delivery on the whole island and to the beach. Pizza, pasta, salads, entrees, subs, paninis, and wraps. Voted best of the shore. Call 814-1600. 814-1600.
Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number one.
Norman, before we start the surgery, I have some bad news.
What is it, doctor?
Well, I never graduated from med school, but the good news is it's the Xfinity Hello 2023 sale. Now hurry, because new Xfinity customers can get 400 megabit internet for just $30 a month for 2 years with no annual contract when they add Xfinity Mobile. And this will get your heart rate up. For a limited time, you'll get $500 back when you add a second mobile line.
I gotta get this deal.
Plus, get the best price when you get unlimited data on both lines.
That's amazing, Doc.
I know. I don't want to miss this deal. Let's reschedule.
Doc? Doc?
Drop everything and get to the Xfinity Hello 2023 sale now through January 10th. Go to Xfinity.com/Hello 2023. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Internet offer requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After term, regular rates apply. Xfinity Internet required for Xfinity Mobile. Compares Xfinity Unlimited Intro to lowest price 5G plans of top 3 carriers. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes of usage per line. Data thresholds may vary.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, we're broadcasting live from yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora for Eagles Pregame Show. Locker Room, Billy Schweim, Dave Klemic, former Kansas City Chief, wide receiver, stalwart, Josh Hennig working hard here, get us all set up. He really works hard, doesn't he, this Josh Hennig?
He's sweating.
He's sweating here. Ready? E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! All right, you got to come on down to yesterday's Creekside Tavern here in Marmora. $3 Miller Lite drafts, $8 Miller Lite pitchers, specialty drinks. We have the Touchdown Mule, Cowboy Tears, Eagles Green Tea, and, of course, the Philly Special. And the bar food is to die for. Come on down. It's a lot of fun. If you can't make it to the game, you want to come to yesterday's. It's like being at the game.
No,
Everybody gets fired up there, right?
Say this is a great environment. Just there's not a bad seat.
Not the whole place.
Not one bad seat. Yeah, they figured it out.
Last week, look, these games come down, Dave. We can't emphasize enough. They come down, Josh, to turnovers. Every week we talk about the turnover ratio. Last week they lost 4. You can't give the ball away 4 times and expect to win in an NFL game. Correct, Dave?
No, this is something that I learned. Didn't learn this into the NFL, but you can statistically lose your game on turnovers. Right. Almost like to a 99% chance. If you're a -3 on the turnover ratio, you're going to lose. You're going to lose
the game.
Then we were -4.
We're -4.
So yeah, you're losing.
But the one play that stands out to me, and I know Josh is going to get in on this, but 3rd and 30. You can't let that happen. 3rd and 30. We sacked Dak Prescott last week 2 times in a row. 2nd and 3rd down, or 1st and 2nd down, we sack him. There's 3rd and 30, and we give up that big play, and that just killed us.
Yeah, those ones are like where your hopes are so high and those given the so lows crushes your momentums. Yeah.
Now, Josh, what do you make of big play or bad play Slay ripping Josiah Scott on the sideline? That was pretty obvious. I mean, yeah, but that could and
you as a defensive player cannot run the opposite direction of the guy who you're supposed to be guarding. And he did it multiple times.
It was obviously a blown coverage.
But there were multiple blown coverages.
All right, but that wasn't the question. My question is that optically good to see him ripping a player like that? What's that do for morale? They talk about this team's close and everything.
Well, if they're close, it shouldn't matter.
Right, okay.
If they're close, Dave, you can speak to this. Would you rather someone, kiss your rear or be honest with you if you stink?
Depends how bad I messed up.
Well, but he was singled out. I mean,
but he should be. There were 3 plays in the game.
Look, that play can't happen.
Okay, the 3rd and 30, the CeeDee Lamb touchdown to the right side on the go route, into the flat, and then the other play where they got the 1st down where CeeDee Lamb did the Z pattern on him. All 3 times Josiah Scott ran the wrong way. You cannot be an NFL player coming into a game and be that much of an imbecile. It's unacceptable.
So Josh would have been the one ripping. He would have been in his face, pointing at him.
It's tough love, Billy. We're men. We're supposed to grow up. We're supposed to coddle everybody.
But this is 2020. But Josh, this is 2023, and we got to be kinder and gentler and nicer.
I can tell you, just being at the studio here, what happens is Josh is yelling at us all, and I'm patting us all in the back. So we have 2 different ways of seeing things.
But you need good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
So it's okay if Slay's yelling at him if somebody else is taking him aside and saying, hey, man, this is what you got to do better.
I do agree with you in saying this. People, they say people don't care what you know till they know that you care. That's a Vermeil saying. So if you can rip somebody if they know that you care about them. If you don't, then it's not going to work.
Well, my concern was that how fragile these personalities are in NFL and all pro sports nowadays. And maybe
they should grow up.
Well, they should grow up. And, I'm a proponent of that. But I'm just saying in today's game,
look what you were just saying.
Player, it's different, Josh.
But here's the thing. Before we came on the radio today, you were mentioning how I was sweating. I was getting everybody going.
Yes.
I'm missing things. I'm trying to figure things out. I'm trying to basically haphazard
making decisions on the fly.
Right. And if I don't do my job, you don't get on the radio. So Josiah Scott doesn't do his job, and as part of the
Slay don't go to the Pro Bowl.
Well, no, it's because CeeDee Lamb scores wide open on a touchdown, gets a wide open 1st down. Everybody has to do their part. Billy, you have to do your part. Dave, you have to do your part.
It's like if one breaks down, we all break down.
So it's more than the 4 turnovers, which to me are actually the number one issue in the game. The issue with the defense is you messed up. Now, how do you adjust? Dave, how do the Eagles adjust and not make the same mental errors against the Saints team that is a lesser offense?
Well, for one thing, if you analyze last week's film, and I always like to look forward instead of looking back, and we can always in hindsight go, yeah, whatever, this is what I would have done. But you would say, okay, here's the adjustments. Here's the mistakes that you are currently making here that we're not going to do. You have a different set of personnel that you're dealing with.
Right.
Too. So it may not be the same issues going forward, but if you looked at similar personnel on a team that you're playing, you got to make some adjustments. But I think that when we're looking at the Saints, as their position, they can actually still make the playoffs, right? So they are.
They're not technically out. They
sort of. They could
still
in the
make
hunt.
it.
They're going to play hard. They're going to play to stay in it. So you're playing an excited team that is not nearly as talented as.
Of course, this is a team that'll throw Taysom Hill and Andy Dalton behind center today to kind of confuse everything. This game, the NFL is fast, right? It's a fast-paced game. But Dave, the film room, the films don't lie, right? So when they go through the film, when the Eagles go over, the coaches go over with the players, they see it. The players see it.
Yeah.
You can hear all that criticism out the night white noise, I should say, that we create. But when they go into that film room, the film room doesn't lie.
Yeah,
they can walk out. They know who did what. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a different thing. You see something that's optically really bad, but if you go to the film study, it might not be that bad of a mistake. Might not be your fault. Mm-hmm. But and you could look at another person. Go, that was your guy. And maybe I was standing there, but that was your guy. So you never know with the film study.
What I was going to say too, Josh, when I say Josiah Scott might not like being singled out on national television, in front of the audience,
right?
You're saying that that if he makes the mistake, he should take that criticism. I'm just saying, I just hope doesn't hurt the chemistry of this team. I don't think it should.
It shouldn't, because first of all, this is a team with strong leaders in that locker room. Second of all, everyone listening on 97.3 ESPN radio, everyone who has a job knows that if they don't do their job, they get in trouble, right?
Right.
If we're at yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora for the Eagles pregame show, if a bartender gives the wrong drink, if a waitress brings out the wrong meal, if somebody forgets to do something, if they wipe down the floor and they don't finish wiping it and there's a wet spot and they don't put a wet floor sign, somebody gets in trouble. So why do we have a double standard for a guy on the NFL field?
That analogy is okay, but it's different. It's football.
Why is it different?
Well, because for the simple reason you're talking about. I hear when people make that analogy compared to everyday work, because it's not the same. Because football is not – it's a game. It's not a job that you drudge in every –
It's their job.
It is a job, but it's also a game.
Bill Belichick says, do your job. It doesn't say do your play.
Well, you got to make plays, right, in the NFL? Dave,
yeah.
I mean, that's how you –
I love this conversation, though, because it's it really is a funny way. Remember they had these commercials where you'd be like the office linebacker and the people it's to show you the contrast between a game that people yell at each other and then and it's a job. In other jobs, people don't yell at each other. You never get away with that besides Josh yelling at us. Unless
Chuck, if Eddie B hands the wrong drink to a patron, and Chuck's going to come down here, Eddie, what did you do? Why'd you send that person that drink? That's wrong drink.
That is an idea.
How's that an analogy?
Cool bar. Could you
but
imagine?
Chuck's not going to yell. Chuck's not yelling at anybody today because he can't talk. He lost his voice.
He's got something.
He's got something in the tank. We got the Eagles today. The 13-2. That sounds pretty cool. 13-2 Eagles against the 6-9 New Orleans Saints. Alvin Kamara, he has one touchdown this year. He didn't score that until 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, he had a big some controversy before the season. It was drama that he
Legal
wasn't
issues.
even going to be here. He would be in jail or something like that this season, right?
Yep.
So they weren't sure if he was going to play. And I am very close with Pete Junta, the senior defensive coordinator.
Okay.
And he could not come to Dick Vermeil's Hall of Fame induction because of Alvin Kamara's legal issues.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he was supposed to be there, and he was like, yeah, we have too much going on to organize the team with that type of
So what you're saying is Alvin Kamara ruined it for everybody else.
Kind of, yeah.
Well, the Saints offense total offense ranks 18. Their total defense is not too bad. It's 9. So this is not going to be a pushover game, Josh Hennig, but it will be in the NFL, anybody can win on any given Sunday.
Yeah, the key thing to look out for in this game is, first of all, they're without one of their starting offensive linemen, Andres Pete. He's one of their starting guards. He's not playing for the Saints today. Marcus May, one of their starting safeties, he's out for the game today.
All right, we got Devontae Maddox and Lane Johnson out today, so that's a push.
Well, I mean,
that's it. Actually, we're Lane Johnson is arguably
the best tackle in football.
Yeah, the best right tackle in football.
No, I say maybe the best tackle
overall,
because it really comes down to him and Trent Williams. Who do you feel is executing at a higher level? Lane Johnson has to give up a sack in so long that nobody remembers the actual date anymore. Like that's how many years it's been since the guy gave up a sack. To me, I think that Jalen Hurts not being out there is not the reason why you should win or lose this game. To me, I think the bigger question is going to be the defense, because you're playing against the Saints offense that is not good. They have not performed well this year. So are you going to go out there and execute and pound them into the ground? Or are you going to, sleepwalk through half the game and be at halftime 13-13, and we're going to be looking around like, what's going on around here?
And I agree. If this team doesn't come out fired up, they got to be coming out fired up today. That's why I started off the show by saying, how hard is it to get up on New Year's Day after, New Year's Eve night, all the bowl games? I mean, they were in a hotel away from the family and friends. I get it, but still, they've got to come out. They've got to come out firing on all cylinders.
Yeah,
today.
well, when they'll hear a fired up crowd screaming for them and this and that to come home, the best team in the NFL right now. But yeah, I think they'd come out with a half their playbook and just run a few short passes, save everything to the second half. I don't think they need to come out full playbook this game, actually. I don't actually think they do.
We're broadcasting live from yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora for the Eagles Pregame Show. The first hour of the locker room was powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. From the shore to center city and every place in between, Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Friends, let me tell you about Maserati, the main line, located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations and invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli midsize sedan of the class leading Levante, the only SUV worthy being called a Maserati. Maserati, the mainline, also leads the nation in certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience does not end at the point of a sale, as Maserati, the mainline, offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi at RDS Auto Group at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit them online anytime at motml.com. All right, when we return, we'll have Scott Grayson from Fox 29 News with his Keys to the Game, brought to you by Brill Pools. We're broadcasting live from yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora for our Eagles pregame. This is the locker room with Billy Schwein, Josh Hennig, and Dave Klemic right here on 97.3 ESPN.
The Rose Bowl game on ESPN Radio. The Utah Utes return to the Rose Bowl for their second straight season after defending their Pac-12 title. They'll face Penn State, looking for their 5th straight win and 11th win overall.
You know Utah is coming to play. Penn State has quietly put together a tremendous season.
8th-ranked Utah, number 11 Penn State. Coverage begins tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern.
The nation's top college football action on 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's football station.
Train presents The Unstoppables. Those captains of comfort, those gargantuans of the guarantee, those satisfaction savants who persevere perilously beyond probability as the raconteurs of reliability. Here's to Train's heralded heroes of heating and air conditioning, those comfort kings with a tireless tenacity for total turnaround. The Train Comfort Specialists. Just one more reason why it's hard to stop a train.
Hi, this is Joe Lenigan, owner of Lenigan Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call us today for your free train system quote at 609-399-1200 or online at ocnjplumber.com. And please don't forget to ask for the military and senior discount.
Call Lenigan, again and again. Call Lenigan, again and again.
Every year, hundreds of children suffer from unintentional injuries or death due to unsecured guns. Camden County and Moms Demand Action South Jersey are asking for your help to reduce gun violence by spreading the Be Smart message.
Store guns unloaded, locked, and separate from ammunition. And talk to other parents about secure gun storage.
It's up to us to prevent these tragedies and save lives. Visit CamdenCounty.com/BeSmart to learn how we can stop gun accidents and deaths together.
You can end the cycle and struggle of obesity. The Center for Weight Loss at Atlanticare can help you leave the health risks behind. With the most comprehensive program of its kind in southeastern New Jersey, our highly trained staff will help drastically reduce your weight and your risk of heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, and more. Visit AtlanticareWeightLoss.com to watch a free online seminar and learn more about your options. Then, when you're ready to make a change, we'll help you start living a healthier life.
May old car problems be forgot in a brand new SUV.
Stop. up. You can't start the new year in an old car. Looking for some holiday cash? Then don't miss Matt Platt Nissan's holiday vehicle buyback. It doesn't matter what you drive. AJ, the trade man, wants to buy your vehicle today, regardless of the make, miles, condition, or situation. AJ will buy your ride for cash today. So treat yourself to a brand new Nissan Rogue. 0 down, 0 payments, 0 interest on every new Matt Platt Nissan Rogue.
It's on at Matt Platt Nissan.
Drive away with peace of mind, because only Matt Platt Nissan has a 4-day love it or leave it return policy. MattPlattNissan.com. Re-qualifications exist with approved credit. $27.78 per thousand financed on in-stock 2023 Nissan Rogues. Not all will qualify. Go to MattPlattNissan.com for complete details or call 844-917-4758. Price includes all costs to be paid by consumer except for licensing, registration, and taxes. Expires 1/31/23. It's on at Matt Platt Nissan on the Black Horse Pike, Egg Harbor Township.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the free 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
Today's Creekside Tavern in Marmora for our Eagles pregame show. People starting to file in, getting ready for Eagles Saints New Year's Day. You know, Philadelphia's got the Mummers Parade going down. That's going to be a nightmare day. Center City, Broad Street area, South Philly. We'll be going nuts down there.
The only thing that would be more nuts than that was the Super Bowl parade.
Parade, yeah.
And the Eagles game at the same time, or maybe the draft. That was having the draft.
Having the draft in Philly was great too.
That was so cool.
We got the Eagles Saints coming up at 1:00. Of course, you catch all the action right here with Mike and Merrill on the call at 1:00. But right now, let's get the keys to the game with Scott Grayson, sponsored by Brill Pools and Spas. They've been installing custom Goodnight pools for over 40 years. Give them a call at 1-800-355-POOL or visit vanbrillpools.com. Stay cool in a Van Brill pool. Ask for Mike Van Brill and tell him the locker room sent you. Let's go to the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline, and welcome into the locker room the Fox 29 News sports anchor, Scott Grayson. Good morning, Scott. Happy New Year.
Good morning, gentlemen. Happy New Year to you as well.
A great week. Before we get your Eagles take, a great bowl week, great college football games, Scott Grayson, all week long.
Yeah, you know, all the people who've been banging their chests saying that the playoff needs to be expanded, last night is all you needed to be able to throw out there and say, yeah, we need more teams in this, because, boy, what two great games those were last night, right?
Yeah, unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Great stuff and great segue for pro football today. The Philadelphia Eagles, 13-2, 1 win away from clinching home field advantage throughout the playoffs, which is a very important thing. That's significant today, Grayson. They got to come out firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm putting this as a must-win game because I don't care what the Giants may or may not be playing for next week. I just don't want to go into next week with this stuff still hanging out there needing to be won against a division opponent who, again, may or may not be playing starters, but you can't put yourself in that position at this point. You have you have an inferior opponent today. That being said, these guys, like the team last week in the Cowboys, who obviously had a lot to play for, the Saints, look, they're getting Alvin Kamara. They've got some weapons back, and I think this is a team you've got to watch out for today. If you take them lightly, if you play down to their level, they will come out and beat you, and that's something that they really need to take account of today. And look, you're at home, you got the home crowd, you haven't been home in about a month. To me, I'm not expecting a letdown today. I expect the Eagles to go out there and take what's theirs, which is that number one seed, and that's what I'm looking for today. But if they're too cavalier, any team can do that in the NFL.
Scott Grayson, Jalen Hurts obviously not playing today. Lane Johnson, an abdominal tendon pull. Avonte Maddox out. How concerned are you? Let's start off with Jalen Hurts' injury. What have you heard, in your day-to-day, your daily routine? I'm sure you're privy to more information than we are. That's why we have you on, Grayson. But start with Jalen Hurts. What do you hear about him and then Lane Johnson's injury?
The things I hear about Jalen Hurts are just, if this was a playoff game, he'd be out there. So there's not like red lights flashing everywhere, like look out. In fact, I saw reports today that he's going to play next week if needed. Basically that he's at that point. Is he 100%? Probably not. Is he at like 80, 90%? He's probably getting there. And that's why he was practicing this week. So if it was a must-win playoff game, season on the line, you'd probably see him out there. That being said, their goals are bigger than just getting home field advantage. And that's why they aren't playing him this week. That's why they're not rushing him back. They know they have this weekend, next week, if they need it, to try to get that done. And so that's why you're there. As far as the other guys you listed, they're concerns to me. Look, I mean, Lane Johnson, this guy is playing probably the best football of his career. And that's saying a lot for what he's accomplished already. And for him to be out today, all along, I did not want them. They were toying with what to do this week. I don't want to see Jordan Mailata move. I love Mailata, Dickerson, Kelsey on that one side, locked down. Don't move two pieces to fill one spot, right? I mean, to me, that doesn't make sense. So today we're going to watch that right tackle spot closely because you got to figure out two things. If you get into the situation where you don't win today and have to win next week, you got to know that you got the right guy on that side to get things done against the Giants. And number two, look, as much as Lane Johnson is gutting this out and he's going to want to play, there's a chance he might even be able to play in the first game, but re-injure or not be able to do what he thought he could do. You need to know you got that position and that spot filled. So I guess if you're looking for any kind of bright light here, it's that it happened to Lane Johnson when it did, that they've got 2 weeks to figure out what they're going to do with that spot before the playoffs if he's not able to play there. Avonte Maddox, big loss out there. Obviously, they did not activate Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, so he's not back this week. So, look, you're going to be seeing Scott running around out there again, or they might even try some different things out there because I think they'd love to get C.J. Gardner-Johnson back in the safety position. But if they have to, they're prepared to put him in that nickel spot. And I'm sure he'll do just fine there just because Blankenship and Epps have done a nice job at safety. So there are a lot of things to watch today, the game within the game, if you will, when you watch the Eagles play the Saints.
Scott, you mentioned the game within the game. Scott, I want to ask you about because last week we saw Josiah Scott get sliced and diced with that defense. So, what do you want to see from Gannon and the Eagles defense today that is going to be different against a lesser Saints offense?
Frankly, I just want to see them not be so passive in the secondary. I don't mind zone coverage, but when it was getting sliced and diced the way it was, not just Scott, I mean, the whole zone coverage was just getting ripped apart. And I know you don't have Dak Prescott. You have Andy Dalton and Taysom Hill, and I know that. But that being said, I don't want to see a passive zone today from Gannon. I'm not saying he needs to blitz. Look, I've given up that fight. He doesn't want to blitz. I get it. And they're getting to the quarterback just fine without it. Fine. You've won me over with that. But on the back end out there, you've got two great corners in Slay and Bradbury. Let them do their thing. And I'm so tired of seeing the full zone coverage with those guys. They are great in man-to-man coverage. Let them just dot up a guy and shut him down. I mean, that's what I want to see. And maybe they'll lose the battles. Maybe they'll lose one here and there, that they're likely going to win the war. And putting them in that position of being in a zone coverage with inexperienced guys around them who aren't maybe good. Look, the biggest key to zone coverage is knowing what the guy next to you is going to do, right? You want to fill a hole.
Trust.
Right, knowing that the other guy over here is going to fill that hole as well. And when you have inexperienced players next to you, you have a little bit of doubt whether that guy's going to be where you think he's going to be. And now you start not paying full attention to what you should be doing. And I think that's what happened last week, frankly, with all that zone coverage. Don't put those young guys in those positions to put to hang these veterans out to dry as well. I just don't want to see as much of that today. Again, something else, Josh, to watch.
We're talking with Scott Grayson from Fox 29 News. Of course, you can check him out on 97.3 ESPN.com with Grayson Grades. And then, of course, with Mike Gill on the Sports Bash on Mondays for Grayson's Grades. Now, Dave, as a wide receiver.
Except not tomorrow.
Except for not tomorrow, Tuesday. Thanks for that correction. Dave, as a wide receiver, what's harder to run against, a zone or a man-to-man?
Well, that depends on your corner for sure,
Right.
and it depends on the routes. All of the,
I mean, what do you?
I would prefer to run on a man,
okay,
because then you know who you're dealing with when you catch the ball. Like you're not as worried about getting blasted. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're gonna get wrestled down. You're not gonna get blasted by a safety bearing down on you. So I kind of like that. But I mean, for the receivers, for the Eagles receivers, they are that's a tough bunch to cover because they're so well rounded. And everyone's had a tough time covering two guys with 1,000 yards.
Of course, I was going to say Swole Batman and Skinny Batman, right? They're really producing. Both guys, like Dave said, they are over 1,000 yards, which is really cool on the stat sheet. All right, Scott. Every Sunday during this time, we get your 3 keys to the game, and then your pick.
Yeah, and I've said it every week, and it does hold true in the league. Turnovers. You got to win the turnover battle today. I don't even want you to tie. You got to win that today. Go out and really take the ball away from the Saints. And I think there's going to be opportunities today to get back in that backfield, force some mistakes from Andy Dalton. I know he's had success against the Eagles, but look, that was with some different teams and different players around him. Number 2, you better come out ready to play. Don't pretend like you're playing the Saints today. Pretend like you're playing the Niners or the Vikings, or this is a playoff. Like, you've got to come out. Today should be a dress rehearsal for a playoff game mentally. Like, you need to come out today, and I need to see this Eagles team take the number 1 seed, not back into it, limp into it, fade into it with backups. No, you go out and you take that today. I want to see that mental fight out of these guys early on, the focus to be there. Number 3, to me, I just think you need to get the lead early. When you play an inferior team, the longer you let them hang around, the more likely they are to start thinking they can win this thing in your stadium. So those are the 3 things that I think you need to watch for today.
All right, now it's time for Grayson's pick. And give us a score, Scotty Grayson.
Yeah, all week long, I just was looking at this, and I was just thinking, the Saints are going to be scrappy, and they're going to come out here, and they're going to fight with the Eagles. But the longer that the week went on, and I was, listening to the players speak and hearing them talk, they know what's out there today. And that key I gave about that mental focus, that fight, that going out there and just, beating an inferior opponent, I expect that today. So I'm going to go with the Eagles to win 31-13.
31-13, Scott Grayson from Fox 29 News. Of course, every Sunday throughout the football season, we get the keys to the game with Scott Grayson from Fox 29 News, brought to you by Brill Pools and Spas. Scott, Happy New Year. We really appreciate having you with us during football season, and enjoy the rest of the day. Let's go, Birds.
I hear you. Happy New Year to you guys, too, and I love talking football with you every Sunday.
And there he is, Scott Grayson from Fox 29, the keys of the game with Scott Grayson, sponsored by Brill Pools and Spas. They've been installing custom Gannett pools for over 40 years. Give them a call, 1-800-355-POOL, or visit VanBrillPools.com. Stay cool in a Van Brill pool. Ask for Mike Van Brill and tell him the locker room sent you. Dave Klemic, you want to have your man one-on-one. That's what you prefer. Mm-hmm. You can get. It's mono with mono, right? Yeah. I mean, that's what you live for. Yeah. I'm sure AJ Brown and Devontae Smith feel the same way.
Yeah, then you can, if you knew that you were getting man all the time, you can just play your matchups. You know what, like AJ Brown, he's incredible at in breaking routes. You know, if you have a Devontae Smith or Quez Watkins is going to take you deep. What their matchups are against yours, and the quarterback can say pre-snap, they go, oh, you got that guy, right. You got that guy, and you got that guy, I'm going here. You know what I mean?
So it's also important not only for the quarterback to recognize what's in front of them, the wide receivers have to be intuitive to that too, right?
Yeah, because there's in film study, there's tendencies.
People think football players are dumb. They're not. There's a lot of things going on in that field, Dave.
You actually have a statistic of how many times a defensive back will jump left or jump right at the line of scrimmage. If they're press man, you know how they take the jump,
right.
They pick a side. 70%. You play the odd to win that odd.
Now,
happens a lot.
Also, Dave, with what you do with your business, the Lane Johnson injury with the core
torn abductor.
You work with athletes, young athletes, with building their core muscle.
Yeah.
What do you know about his injury, and what can you tell us?
People don't know this, but the core muscles are any muscle that stands you up or connects to your vertebrae, and then it will make you stand tall.
Right.
So those are muscles. When you hurt them, they hurt the entire body at all times. So if you're just standing erect, that's going to hurt you. So he won't be able to work out in any way that's like on his feet probably this week, and that's going to hurt his practice.
How about when defensive linemen lunge at him, like pushing, like he's when you're just looking for pass blocking in particular, when the ball's snapped, you go to an upright position and you're taking on pressure.
Yeah.
Does pushing hurt?
Yes, everything hurts because everything comes from inside. There's the sagittal and transverse plane, which come right. It's like a T in the middle of your body, and the transverse, sagittal, and coronal planes. And then
that's why we have them on.
Everything
like
from there. But yeah, so everything pans out from there, and in your core muscles, it's what stands you up. So if you're nothing's like a bench, you're not laying back.
Right.
Everything comes through the core or through the floor. So good thing those muscles heal pretty fast. He'll be back, I think, pretty quickly. But it does affect everything that he does.
So two things.
Everything.
One, so when in my lesser experience than you, Dave. When I was a personal trainer, I used to always tell people you have to strengthen your transverse abdominis. And I wonder how many times athletes are actually stabilizing that part, because I heard Dr. Chow, the pro football doctor, talk about how this is the second part of it. He believes that because Lane already had a weakness in the abdominal, that it led to him having the torn adductor because he had one area that was weak and he was overcompensating somewhere else.
Happens all the time. And you can see like these predispositions happen with hamstrings and all kind of stuff. Because if you're real quad heavy, your hamstring pulls, blah, blah, blah. But he's such a strong guy. And I know he's failed a drug test before.
Right.
There's some possibilities that he had done some some heavy lifting where it would hurt the connective tissues or hurt tendons and stuff like that and ligaments.
I will say though, really quick, because I wrote an article about this in 2016, and that is what he tested before we hit the break. What he tested the second time negative for was a trace substance in amino acids.
Right.
So like you go to like your local supplement store, right? And you get a bottle of amino acids, BCAAs, whatever you want to call them, EAAs. Apparently there was a trace element in that formula that he tested. And because he already had one strike against him, that's why they banged him so hard for the 10-game second time. So, I would argue that maybe he's about more like 8 years removed from like legit
either way, this injury is going to slow him up. I mean, he's not going to be the same Lane Johnson, but I'll take a 70% Lane Johnson as opposed to 100% someone else.
I just really quick. I don't like when people label people a certain way. So I don't want people to think out there that we're trying to say that Lane is like a steroid or something like that. Or like,
but those things could be contributing factors to pre-existing injuries.
We're broadcasting live from yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora for our Eagles pregame show. Come on down. Of course, we'll have the game on. The 6-9 Saints taking on the 13-2 Philadelphia Eagles at 1:00 at Lincoln Financial Field. We're getting you all pumped up. I want to remind people the first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. From the shore to Center City and every place in between, Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Hey, just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine that's run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunick. But were you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give him a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. All right, when we return, we'll wrap up hour number one. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein, Dave Klemic, Josh Hennig, as we broadcast live from yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora for our Eagles pregame show right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Scott Graham here from Westwood One. It's AFC North action for Sunday Night Football when rookie quarterback Kenny Pickett and the Pittsburgh Steelers travel to Baltimore to face the 10-5 Ravens. Baltimore, awaiting the return of Lamar Jackson, has clinched a playoff bid, but needs to win to keep pace in the division race. Ryan Radke and Mike Golick will have the call on Sunday Night Football.
Listen to Sunday Night Football on 97.3 ESPN. Coverage begins at 8 p.m.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number one.
Hi, this is ex-Philadelphia Eagles tight end Ken Dunnick, and I'm the current publisher of Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine, and I'm asking you to become a Camden County police officer and help make our city a better place to live. The Camden County Police Department is now hiring for sworn officers who are going to make a difference in our community. The first year's salary for the position is $51,000. So join the effort today to be part of something bigger than yourself. Visit CamdenCountyPD.org to apply online. That's CamdenCountyPD.org. Thank you.
If you run a small business, you need the most from every investment. That's why Comcast Business gives you more. Like more innovation with our new gig speed Wi-Fi, plus unlimited data. More speed from the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses. And more savings, up to 60% a year with Comcast Business Mobile. All from the company that powers more businesses than any other provider. When you need more, you need Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with fast, reliable internet for just $49 a month for 12 months with no annual contract. Or ask how to get up to an $800 prepaid card with a qualifying bundle. Call or go online today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. EcoBill and autopay required. New 50 megabits per second internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Mobile savings compares pricing of top 3 carriers. Comcast Business Internet required.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. This is Matt Crowder live at the gas station on 41st Street reporting on those skyrocketing gas prices. Excuse me, miss. Are you buying less gas now because of the high prices?
Oh, I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Well, does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow. Well, there you have it. Stop paying full price for gas. Download the free Upside app and get real cash back every time you buy gas. This is Matt Crowder Radio News Network. Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code LOT for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or any gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code LOT for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code LOT.
Now, more of The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
We're back here at yesterday's Creekside Tavern on Marmora for our Eagles pregame show. Right here on 97.3 ESPN, The Locker Room. Billy Schweim, Josh Hennig, and former Kansas City Chief wide receiver Dave Klemic. Right here at yesterday's. Come on down, $3 Miller Lite drafts, $8 Miller Lite pitchers, specialty drinks, food, football, 97.3 ESPN. We're all excited. The 13-2 Philadelphia Eagles, without their starting quarterback, Jalen Hurts. Gardner Minshew's going to have to do it for him today.
You know what? I was going to ask Grayson this, but I think last week I was proud of him.
Yeah, I thought he did pretty well.
We had 4 turnovers, and he still had 300-some yards passing, kept us in the game. To me, that was a moral victory to me. I know there is none, but
Hour 1 is in the books. Hour 2 ahead of us. We'll continue talking Eagles football, get you all pumped up for the game today. Beautiful day outside, sun shining bright, mild temperatures. Bottom of the second hour, we got the fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley, brought to you by Padula Masonry. We'll get his picks. And Josh Hennig, Dave Klemic, we're in a 3-point stance. We're broadcasting live from yesterday's in Marmora for our Eagles pregame show right here on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
This is South Jersey's radio home for Philadelphia Eagles football with the legendary voice of the Eagles, Merrill Reese and Mike Quick. Philadelphia Eagles football on 97.3 ESPN is brought to you by
Boardwalk Honda. From Maine to Miami, nobody beats a Boardwalk deal. EMT Solar and Roofing. Go to ESPNSolar.com to see if you qualify. Jersey Shore Federal Credit Union. Make the switch and bank with your only community credit union. BMW of Atlantic City. Closer than you think. Anytime at BMWAtlanticCity.com. Jenkins Plumbing and Heating. The original Piccalilli Inn. Nobody beats the Piccalilli. GMS Law at GMSLaw.com. 844-REACH-NJ from the New Jersey Department of Human Services. Call today, 844-REACH-NJ. The D'Amato Law Firm. They represent clients who have been seriously injured. And Miller Lite, the official beer sponsor of the Philadelphia Eagles.
97.3 ESPN FM is your official home in South Jersey for Eagles football.
The world is always on, but you shouldn't be. Put junk sleep to bed. During Mattress Firm's Dream December sale, save up to 60% with Sealy Queen mattresses starting at $279.99. Only at Mattress Firm.
Norman, before we start the surgery, I have some bad news.
What is it, doctor?
Well, I never graduated from med school, but the good news is it's the Xfinity Hello 2023 sale. Now hurry, because new Xfinity customers can get 400 megabit internet for just $30 a month for 2 years with no annual contract when they add Xfinity Mobile. And this will get your heart rate up. For a limited time, you'll get $500 back when you add a second mobile line.
I gotta get this deal.
Plus, get the best price when you get unlimited data on both lines.
That's amazing, Doc.
I know. I don't want to miss this deal. Let's reschedule.
Doc?
Drop everything and get to the Xfinity Hello 2023 sale now through January 10th. Go to Xfinity.com/Hello 2023. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Internet offer requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After term, regular rates apply. Xfinity Internet required for Xfinity Mobile. Compares Xfinity Unlimited Intro to lowest price 5G plans of top 3 carriers. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes of usage per line. Data thresholds may vary.
The Where Were You in 92 podcast brings you back to the year of big butt anthems, achy breaky hearts, and grunge. Take an audio trip back in time to relive the wildest, most eclectic, and controversial 12 months in music through interviews with critics, industry bigwigs, and the artists themselves.
Take me back to a magical time when music was magic, and I had completely burned that to the ground.
Listen to Where Were You in 92, wherever you get your podcasts.
Wait, stop the countdown. It's the final days of the Kia Season of Giving Back sales event. So bring any trade to Matt Blatt Kia and drive home in a brand new Kia, even with 0 down and 0% APR financing for 36 months. Don't see your new Kia on the lot today? That does not mean you can't drive it home tomorrow. With peace of mind, Matt Blatt Kia's exclusive 4-day love it or leave it return policy. So if you have a job clearing $350 per week at Matt Blatt Kia, you are virtually approved. So why pay more when you can pay 0% with 0 down?
It's gotta be a Matt Blatt Kia.
Rate qualifications exist with approved credit. $27.78 per thousand financed on in-stock 2023 Sorento Hybrid. Not all will qualify. Go to MattBlattKiaNJ.com for complete details or 888-505-6670. Price includes all costs to be paid by consumer except for licensing, registration, and taxes. Expires 1/31/23. Matt Blatt Kia, 6211 Black Horse Pike, Egg Harbor Township, and now on Route 37 and Toms River.
A Town Square media station serving all of South Jersey. This is 97.3 ESPN, home of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Hey, got him!
WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City.
Red 83!
Welcome
to the locker room.
Vince Papali, welcome to the locker room.
I can smell it already, Billy. What's happening, buddy?
Von Hayes, welcome to the locker room with Billy Schwein.
Yeah, hey, Billy, how you doing out there?
Rich Gannon, welcome to the locker room, Rich.
Thanks, guys. It's great to be with you.
Great Bob McElwee, NFL referee.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Craig Berube. Craig, welcome to the locker room.
All right, thanks, Billy.
We have the real Pat Croce in the locker room.
Get me off the bench, Coach.
And now here's your host, Billy Schwein.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! Welcome back to the locker room with Billy Schwein as we broadcast live from yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora for our Eagles pregame show. And hey, Josh Hennig and Dave Klemic are here with me. Former Kansas City Chief wide receiver Dave Klemic. Josh Hennig
He did not play wide receiver in the NFL.
Josh Hennig, who did not play wide receiver, but you're on ESPN 97.3 Monday through Friday on game night. And that's a great show. The Eagles, guys, won a game or lost a game 40-34 last week against the Dallas Cowboys. On Christmas Eve, they still hung 34 points on a Cowboys defense. And they gave up the Eagles scored a defensive touchdown.
Yep.
But so I don't, like you said earlier in the show, you don't hold Gardner Minshew responsible for that loss. It was a team loss. But were you worried about that? Like, you hear people are like scared and worried and that with the mounting injuries. Are you worried, Josh?
I'm not worried in terms of what this team is capable of. I am concerned that, I don't want to see a letdown today. I think that's where my that's where my mind goes to, because I was listening to try and remember, it was Ryan Clark was on Get Up this week, and he mentioned as a player, he said he believed in the Eagles more after the loss than he did before, because he said the only way this team has lost games this year is when they've turned the ball over 4 times. He says it literally takes this team 4 times to turn the ball over to guarantee they lose. He says every game they haven't had 4 turnovers, they win it. So for him, he was saying, and the guys in the panel were, agreeing with him after he explained it. He said, you could argue the Eagles' best performance this year was actually when they lost, because it showed you they're so good that it takes not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 mistakes for them to lose.
And Dave, it's tough to go undefeated in the NFL, and maybe a loss like Josh is articulating brings the players back down to earth.
Definitely,
in a way.
I don't always think that pressure is a great thing for a playoff or Super Bowl running team. I don't think it's great at all. I remember Coach Vermeil going, "We're 9-0 right now in 2003.
Right.
We're gonna back this playbook up. We're gonna start playing the young guys a little bit more, and we're gonna play what we have to win, but not." We're not worried about it now, because we don't want to play for an undefeated season. We want to play for a Super Bowl.
Right. Okay. That's the ultimate prize. A couple notes about the Eagles defense. I mean, you got 3 defensive players right now. It's week 17, but they've played. This will be their 16th game. Okay. They got 3 defensive players with double-digit sacks, and Brandon Graham with 9. So he needs 1 more, and they'll have 4 teams that have defensive linemen that have sacks.
I don't know if that's ever happened.
I don't think I know it's 3 players, the 85 Raiders and the 89 Vikings. But I don't think, Josh, and you should know you're an encyclopedia when it comes to sports, I don't think there's ever been a team that's had 4 guys in double-digit sacks.
Insane. Yeah.
I mean, we were talking yesterday on the show. My brother Bobby was with me. We're talking about the fearsome foursome, right? In the Rams, right? The Deacon Jones, the fearsome,
Jones,
the purple people eaters, the steel
curtain,
curtain,
the Steelers,
the monsters of the Midway.
Well, you can't forget the Cowboys, the late 70s.
The Cowboys, the late 70s. I don't think that's ever happened.
It's weird because first of all, the sack stat has only been around, so what is it, 81, 82?
Right.
So, people always say that they have to go back and rewatch Deacon Jones's games to find.
Plus,
all
they're
of his
throwing
sacks.
the ball a lot more, so there's a lot more opportunity for sacks.
Right.
But here's
Plus-
the other thing. Sack is just an outcome of a play. You want quarterback pressures. You want to hit the quarterback whether you sack him or not. When he releases that ball, you want to get your hands on him so he knows you, feels you're there. So to me, I think that the sack is just one element of this team's success. What impresses me more, and I'll throw it to you, Dave, is that Hassan Reddick has come in here now, and he's entering the prime of his career. He's still a young guy. He's like, 26 years old, basically. And he's having this year. I mean, how much better can he get considering what he's already doing this year?
Oh, physically, I think he's still coming into his own. Remember, in college, he was a safety. He's just getting used to. He ran a 4.3 at the NFL Combine. The guy, he is a phenomenal athlete, and he was at Temple where he was a safety.
Yeah,
he actually worked out. He was going to work out for NFL teams. I just talked to Tommy Bradway about him, who's with the Bears right now as the local scout. I ran into a Target.
Oh, did
he
you?
was like, Hassan Reddick.
We see him up on the boardwalk running all the time.
He was a 200-pound safety or whatever.
Wow.
And so now what he's doing now, he's just getting used to his body being 230, 240 pounds.
So when
or
he
whatever.
settles in and realizes.
Think about that phrase. He's getting used to his
right?
body.
He's 26.
And keep in mind, having Josh Sweat on the other side helps too, right? Because they can't keep on they can't double team Hassan Reddick. They got to worry about Josh. They got to worry about Brandon Graham.
Hey,
you got to worry about.
Then they got to worry about Hargrave.
What about all those teams that you said had all these sacks and these big? What's the Eagles' nicknames going to be? What are they going to? What can you name them?
The one when Jerome Brown, Clyde Simmons, Reggie White, they were called Gangrene, right?
Yeah,
that was a Gangrene. I don't know.
What's
That's
this
a good
one?
question. We got
What's
to come
this
up
one?
with a nickname.
We'll do it right here.
Speaking of hits, guys, we were talking about pressuring the quarterback, but we got to limit Jalen Hurts. When I don't know who was the bear that fell on him, but I kept watching that replay, and the way he just left all of his weight on Jalen Hurts, you got to limit the hits that he takes. And you know what that means? Pulling back from design run plays. Everybody that I talk to or listen to or read all say the same thing. Why can't the coaches, Dave? Why don't they see that? Obviously, you want to win. You got to use whatever weapons are at your disposal. But at the same time, you got to protect your quarterback.
But you have
He's your king on your chessboard.
He's a punishing runner. He will hit you as much as they will hit him. So he's a very durable.
Yeah, but
person.
a quarterback's you got to limit the hits.
Yeah,
but here's the
thing.
thing.
I agree with you 100%.
Can I just jump into it? We praised Hurts for most of the year for avoiding those hits. He did such a good job most of the year, running out of bounds, sliding, not taking the hits. So I think it goes back to the question Billy asked. Why are the coaches putting him in that position? They didn't have to run the ball with him the first two plays of the Bears game. That was completely unnecessary. So, Dave, let me ask you, because I want to rephrase what Billy said. Billy sits there. The person listening on 97.3 sits there. The person at yesterday's Creekside Tavern
at the bar,
Marmora at the bar. Everybody
Eddie
sees
B.
something, and they all see the same thing. You shouldn't do that. Why are you doing that? Why don't the coaches at times see what everyone else sees?
Well, when you're in it, it's a different thing. You're looking at it from a bird's eye view from right on the field. But I will say this. If you're the quarterback on a design run, now, the quarterback's always supposed to be the person that decides to hit the ground, not where you're any other runner. You make the defense take you to the ground.
Right.
When you're the quarterback, you're told to hit the ground before someone contacts
Right.
you.
Correct.
That may be on Jalen Hurts doing that himself just to be tough. And they're like, dude, I told you not to do that.
Yeah, but it's still my point is
right.
And I know a lot of people have articulated the same thing. You got to limit the hits, whether he's sliding or not.
And by the way, to that point, remember
it's a matter of percentage.
You're right.
If I can bring you back in the time machine for a minute, 2017, it was a very happy memory for all of us. But remember at the beginning of the year what they talked about. Doug Peterson and Frank Reich said they had to teach Wentz to be better at not taking contact.
Right.
And they explained they were going to start purposely calling plays to keep him from making those reckless running plays and getting hurt.
Well, he's so praised for extending a play. They're like, he's going to convert a third down. Because he would run enough to get the first down, but then he would dive, and you're like, Jalen Hurts is smart enough to not dive. He did play, but you play the percentages.
Right, you play.
You're going to get hurt.
So, guys, here's another thing too. You saw, even though I think Gardner Minshew is probably one of the best backups in the league.
Yes.
Right. You saw a drop off. Like you talk about the MVP of the team. You saw how important Jalen Hurts is to the offense last week. Even though I still like Gardner Minshew, and I think he's a solid backup, number 2 guy, one of the best backups in the league. That being said, you saw not having a mobile quarterback like Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, no, it affects the game in every way. Defensive backs can relax a little bit. You don't have to worry about someone at the line of scrimmage. So that takes a defensive back out and puts someone just spying on Jalen Hurts. So that puts more pressure on your 4 defensive backs than you could put a nickel out and put 5. You know what I mean? Where you could do that to if you have a decent pressuring defensive line.
Well, the 13-2 Philadelphia Eagles, led by Gardner Minshew today against the 6-9 New Orleans Saints, were broadcasted live from yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora for our Eagles pregame show. It's the locker room with Billy Schweim, Josh Hennig, former Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Dave Klemic. I want to remind people the second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour and 58-minute round. Look, you want to book a wedding, they do weddings really well there. That's their specialty.
Their bread and butter?
The bread and butter. They have an award-winning culinary and banquet staff. They customize your menus. They seat up to 275 people. It's a picturesque, beautiful location. For more information, go to greatbay.com if you want to book a wedding for 2023, or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. And, of course, when you get down there, say hello to Radio Ron Ralston for us. Want to remind people the locker room in Blitz's Market want to discount your Eagles game day meal. During the Eagles season on game day, get a turkey or Italian hoagie for just $5 when you mention the locker room. Get down to Blitz's all season long at 21st and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Blitz's now has online ordering at blitzesmarkets.com, or give them a call at 609-399-9983. All right, we're broadcasting live here from yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora for our Eagles pregame show. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Dave Klemic, and Josh Hennig right here on 97.3 ESPN.
The Rose Bowl game on ESPN Radio. The Utah Utes return to the Rose Bowl for their second straight season after defending their Pac-12 title. They'll face Penn State, looking for their 5th straight win and 11th win overall.
You know Utah is coming to play. Penn State has quietly put together a tremendous season.
8th-ranked Utah, number 11 Penn State. Coverage begins tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern.
The nation's top college football action on 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's football station.
Ocean City's real estate market is red hot. You need an agent that has the knowledge and expertise to help. Contact Ocean City's top agent, Mark Rhymes. Mark has been selling real estate for 30 years in South Jersey. He can answer all your real estate questions and find you the perfect property. He's available anytime on his cell at 609-425-2042. When Philadelphia star athletes are looking for a house at the beach, they contact Mark Rhymes, specializing in buying and selling vacation homes, single-family homes, condominiums, and duplexes, residential and commercial, as well as new construction projects or investment opportunities. Mark Rhymes, he's your agent at the beach. Give him a call right now, 609-425-2042, or check out his website at grimes.com.
Hundreds of Volkswagens in stock and on sale. Hundreds of Mitsubishis, even 100 electric Pintelli golf carts in stock and on sale at Tom's River Auto Group. And not one a penny over sticker. Plus, Tom's River Auto has a Birds fan bonus. $500 off just for showing up in a team jersey, hat, socks, whatever. How easy is that? New or used, Tom's River's got plenty, but hurry. On sale, they're flying. Click Tom'sRiverAutoGroup.com.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson & Sons for electrical. They're number one.
When you can't stop, there's Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub sends powerful medicated Vicks vapors right to the source of your so you can experience cough relief and breathe easier. Generations of families have trusted Vicks VapoRub to help relieve the worst cold symptoms. So next time you have a cough, reach for the Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub. Cough relieving is believing.
Norman, before we start the surgery, I have some bad news.
What is it, doctor?
Well, I never graduated from med school, but the good news is it's the Xfinity Hello 2023 sale. Now hurry, because new Xfinity customers can get 400 megabit internet for just $30 a month for 2 years with no annual contract when they add Xfinity Mobile. And this will get your heart rate up. For a limited time, you'll get $500 back when you add a second mobile line.
I gotta get this deal.
Plus, get the best price when you get unlimited data on both lines.
That's amazing, Doc.
I know. I don't want to miss this deal. Let's reschedule.
Doc? Doc?
Drop everything and get to the Xfinity Hello 2023 sale now through January 10th. Go to Xfinity.com/Hello 2023. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Internet offer requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After term, regular rates apply. Xfinity Internet required for Xfinity Mobile. Compares Xfinity Unlimited Intro to lowest price 5G plans of top 3 carriers. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes of usage per line. Data thresholds may vary.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein on 97.3 ESPN and the free 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
All right, we're broadcasting live from yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora for our Eagles pregame show. Come on down. We got all kind of specialty drinks. We got $3 Miller Lite drafts, $8 Miller Lite pitchers, specialty drinks, game day mimosa. You got to come on down and get a mimosa. Right, and the Touchdown Mule, Cowboy Tears, which is always a great drink to have, Cowboys Tears, and then the Eagles Green Tea, and, of course, the Philly Special. Dave Klemic, former Kansas City Chief wide receiver, what you do now, you work with young athletes, preparing their bodies. You do a lot of core work.
So what we do, what I do, thanks for plugging me too. What we do is quantify an athlete's basically athleticism through a number of tests. Where we test their power output, their biomechanics. We quantify that. We put it into formulas and equations, and we increase those things off a performance plan that we write, and then we exit measure them. And you usually see, and no kidding, about 4 miles per hour increase on the maximum velocity,
That's awesome.
6 to 8 inch increase on the vertical leap, and those numbers that would make an athlete more and put a number to it. It's not subjective anymore.
But you also, I mean, you're also making the athlete stronger.
Stronger,
all the way around.
But stronger through increase, through metabolic stress of a fast twitch muscle fiber. So we selectively recruit the fiber and we try to train it just to selectively bypass the type 1s.
Because the strength we're talking about is not how much you can bench press or how much you can squat per se. It's not like a power lifter.
Yeah.
You're training these people to be the most effective athletes they can be. It's what the term they used to call it functional strength.
Yeah. Right. So when you make contact to the ground, when you run or you jump, that has a lot to do with the force velocity curve. So if you touch the ground when you're running, you're touching that about 0.1 seconds or less. And when you bench or squat, you're touching the ground for 2 or 3 seconds.
Right.
And then you're using type 1 fiber. So you're not even doing anything right. We use the weight room for injury prevention, and that's it.
And how can people get in touch with you?
So they can look at our website called www.KlemicPerformanceMethod.com.
Klemic Performance
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Of course, Josh, you with the beginning of the season, people were talking about, I can remember, let's go back to the first game against Detroit, the lack of tackling, the lack of just, the preseason, the collective bargaining agreement. But this Eagles team, by and large, has made it to now virtually unscathed, with the exception of now Lane Johnson and Avonte Maddox, CJ Gardner, but he's not a long-term thing for him.
Right.
But the Eagles have been virtually injury-free throughout the whole season.
And a lot of that has to do with that sports science that Dave is referring to. Chip Kelly started bringing, the whole nutrition side of the sports science to the NFL. Well, then other coaches started bringing the physical side of sports science. And you see organizations now like the Eagles, but previously like the Rams, for example.
Yeah, because they use their model, right, in the beginning of the season.
It's the Rams model. In fact, the guy who used to work for the Rams is now the guy who runs that department for the Eagles. And the idea is that they basically say, we are not going to put the athletes in a position to get injured before this season. And if that means we don't play them in preseason games or we don't have full contact practices, their opinion is we're more interested in health over people being on the field.
Where does Klemic Performance Center stand on that? Are you a proponent for a rougher, more physical preseason game to get you ready for the actual first game, or you prefer to take that lighter approach?
I know the answer to that.
Because there's a lot of soft tissue injuries that the Eagles were having throughout in the beginning of the previous seasons.
Right. Your preparation of muscle tissue and collagen within your tendons and ligaments, that has a lot to do with preparation. And you can do you can do things without hitting at full speed live on TV.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So that's what would really prepare your body for stuff like that. However, those things are accentuated tremendously when you're so amped up and on TV. Yeah, you need to practice at that psyched up adrenaline
that level
as well. So those become more mental issues than they do physical. So from a physical standpoint, I think you can take it easy a little bit more on it. From a mental standpoint, it's the glitz and glamour and the craziness of the game. It speeds everything up, and then your decisions making are slower.
Which is why I don't want Jalen Hurts sitting for that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's another thing too. Like if Jalen Hurts, we don't know. The NFL, pretty much all professional sports leagues don't tell you what the exact injury is to the player for competitive advantages, whatnot, or for safety purposes. Keep the athlete protected at all times. But that being said, the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm concerned that Jalen Hurts, I don't want to say get rusty, but if he doesn't play this week at all and they don't play him next week, even if the game doesn't, the game hopefully won't matter to us, but then he's going to get a bye in the playoffs. Are you concerned about his sharpness?
Ryan Clark, Dan Orlovsky, Brian Baldinger, Damian Woody, Michael Robinson, all former players on different networks have all said the same thing. Rust is real.
Well, okay, I'll tell you what.
Here's the resident former NFL player. What do you think?
So rustiness has to do with neural pathways that you're building during this high speed decision making plays and movement. So there's axons that go from your FTF or your spindles in your muscles to your brain and back, and they go really fast and they create a nice pathway. But when you when you shut them down, they narrow and it's slower moving to get back and forth. So your decision's slow. That's a real thing. Being rusty is actually slowing down of neural pathways and axons moving back and forth. It's a real thing. So you want to keep your guys fresh, even if you put them in for a series, maybe two, and then take them out. That's what I would do. Not leave them sit. The bye week, everybody sits.
Because you know what concerns me. Look at the Major League Baseball last year. The Dodgers and the Mets, both 100 win teams. Even the Braves up there, and they didn't get to the World Series because maybe they spent it or they rested or whatever the situation. You get your best teams not playing in the biggest game at the end of the year.
I don't know if baseball is the best analogy because baseball is such a
long
grinding of the season. Football is a little more, I don't want to say it's a full sprint, but it's a little more of like a 400 meter, whereas baseball is more of like a mile, travel, marathon kind of thing.
I agree with that.
Repetition, going over and over.
But the rust thing is real. Yeah,
that's real.
Yeah, that's a physiological, absolute thing.
The Philadelphia Eagles taking on the New Orleans Saints today. We're broadcasting live here at yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora for Eagles Pregame Show. We're having fun. This is the place to be. This is Eagles headquarters. Eddie B and Sean, the bartenders today. Come on down. We got $3 Miller Lite drafts, $8 Miller Lite pitchers, specialty drinks, bar food, wings, chips. I like the I'm going to go for those Nashville chicken sliders today.
I'm staying for that.
We're having those today. They're good. My brother likes the nachos.
Well, you can't go wrong with the nachos.
You can't go wrong with the nachos. So come on down. People are starting to file in. It's a big game today. It's New Year's Day right here on 97.3 ESPN. Want to remind people the second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home to the 3-hour, 58-minute round. Great Bay is now accepting social memberships starting at $25. For more information, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. And, of course, when you get down there. Say hello to Radio Ron Ralston for us. Hey, friends, let me tell you about Maserati, the main line, located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations and invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli midsize sedan or the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy of being called a Maserati. Maserati, the main line, also leads the nation in certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience does not end at the point of a sale, as Maserati, the main line, offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi at RDS Auto Group at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit them online anytime at motml.com. All right, when we return, we'll talk to the fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein, Dave Klemic, and Josh Hennig right here on 97.3 ESPN.
This is the radio home for Philadelphia Eagles football. The Eagles continue the season later today, hosting the New Orleans Saints.
Minshew takes the snap. He backs up. He looks. He is looping it, catching it. Goddard in for a second touchdown.
Pre-game coverage starts at noon with Merrill Reese and Mike Quick calling all the action starting at 1 p.m. This is where the Philadelphia Eagles play. 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's official Eagles station.
Train presents The Unstoppables. Those captains of comfort, those gargantuans of the guarantee, those satisfaction savants who persevere perilously beyond probability as the raconteurs of reliability. Here's to Train's heralded heroes of heating and air conditioning, those comfort kings with a tireless tenacity for total turnaround. The Train Comfort Specialists. Just one more reason why it's hard to stop a train.
Hi, this is Joe Lenigan, owner of Lenigan Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call us today for your free train system quote at 609-399-1200 or online at ocnjplumber.com. And please don't forget to ask for the military and senior discount.
Calling again and again. Calling again and again.
Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, the pizza you're gonna love. It's got the freshest taste that you'll find any place. Randazzo's Pizza, there's one right nearby. Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza. It's a pizza like you've never had before. Eat it or take it home, no matter where you roam. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Why would you call anyone else besides Randazzo's Pizzeria and Family Restaurant, 34th and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Open year-round, 7 days a week, offering free delivery on the whole island and to the beach. Pizza, pasta, salads, entrees, subs, paninis, and wraps. Voted best of the shore. Call 814-1600. 814-1600.
Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Hi, this is ex-Philadelphia Eagles tight end Ken Dunnick, and I'm the current publisher of Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine, and I'm asking you to become a Camden County police officer and help make our city a better place to live. The Camden County Police Department is now hiring for sworn officers who are going to make a difference in our community. The first year's salary for the position is $51,000. So join the effort today to be part of something bigger than yourself. Visit CamdenCountyPD.org to apply online. That's CamdenCountyPD.org. Thank you.
Hi, Merrill Reese from Mike's Seafood Run Walk for Autism in Sea Isle City, the 5K race, and the family fun walk, followed by a huge after party. Party is not just for the runners and walkers, it's for the entire family. They'll have clowns, face painters, food and door prizes. For more information or to register, go to polarbearrunwalkforautism.com.
Mike's Seafood Run Walk for Autism, Saturday, February 18th on the boardwalk in Sea Isle City.
Any day you can do something for children with disabilities, it's a good day.
Now, more of The Locker Room with Billy Schwein on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, we're having a blast here at yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora for our Eagles pregame show. Come on down. People are starting to fill in. Eagles, Saints, 1 o'clock right here on 97.3 ESPN. Mike and Merle with the call. and it's the 13-2 Philadelphia Eagles. Getting a win today will solidify home field advantage and a bye throughout the playoffs, and that is so big and key to getting to the Super Bowl, right? You get a bye, and everything has to go through Philadelphia.
Yeah, I love that they take a week off, that they could, just be rested. If people don't understand how much your rest is important, because when you're trying to keep a team healthy, which they have been pretty healthy. I was trying to explain how we picked our girl's name.
Right.
The winner of the Super Bowl doesn't necessarily have to be the best team at the beginning. It's like Savannah wasn't the name we picked. That was like number 11 on the list, but it kept making it because there was somebody that I go, oh, I know somebody that I don't like that name, or she knows somebody that they don't like that name. And even though it wasn't our number one on the list, it made it through because it made it through all of the battles, that little battle. So if your team can be healthy, yeah, you can do really well. So that week of health, it's tremendously important.
And of course, Josh, throughout the season, health is the key when it comes to fantasy football, because people by week 14, people are scrambling, guys are getting hurt. And that's why we have our fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley, brought to you by Padula Masonry. Ron Padula has been in business for 25 years. With his experience, when you choose Padula Masonry to complete your project, you're choosing peace of mind. Foundations, concrete, brick, stone, stucco, pavers, and more, you name it. If it has cement, they do it. That's Padula Masonry. Give them a call at 609-399-8009 or check out the website at padulamasonry.com. Let's go to the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline, and welcome in my fantasy football guru and yours, Brian Hartley. Good morning, Guru. Happy New Year.
Good morning, guys. Happy New Year. Dave talks about rest. One thing he won't be getting for the next couple of years will be rest.
And you know all too much about that, Brian.
Yes, I do. And the other thing I heard, though, was it was, a little disappointing because Dave told me quietly when we hosted the show a couple of weeks ago that if it was a boy, first name on the list was Billy and William. So, unfortunately, we missed out on that.
I didn't know that, Dave. I'm honored.
If you believe that, I'll tell you another one.
I got swampland for you in Florida to sell you.
All right. Fantasy football guru. Most leagues are in playoff mode right now. I'm out of both leagues, so it's tough this time of year because you're in the playoffs and you're coming down to the last couple of weeks. Guys are hurt.
Not only are guys hurt, Billy, you got guys getting benched, guys like David Carr, which is going to affect Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams. And now you have Carson Wentz coming in at quarterback for teams like the Commanders. And it's so not only are you battling injuries now, you're battling some teams that want to play, their backup guys. They want to play their young guys and see what they have because they're not in a position to make the playoffs. They don't care about fantasy football. They want to see what talent they have so they can evaluate these guys going into the draft. And from a fantasy football perspective, that makes it really, really difficult this week and next week. Most leagues end this week, so this is championship week. Some go to next week. But it makes it extremely difficult to try to find guys that are not only going to play, but are going to be able to give you enough value to hopefully bring home that trophy.
And that's a good point. Carr gets benched in Las Vegas. Carson Wentz, it could be Carson Wentz could return to Philadelphia to face the Birds in a playoff situation scenario.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were looking forward to that game earlier in the season, that Monday night game, and then he was injured and didn't get to play, and they were disappointed. They probably didn't get a chance to boo him when he was there. But what a crazy scenario. I still think a team like Green Bay, they got to win out and they need a Washington loss. And I could see that happening. So I'm not sure Washington makes the playoffs, but we'll see. You never know. That's why we play the games.
And if the playoffs were to start today, the whole NFC East would be in it.
Oddly enough, as crazy as this season has gone, you're right. And that doesn't, I don't think it's ever happened where all four teams have made it before, obviously with the new wild card format.
All right, fantasy football guru Brian Hartley, brought to you by Padula Masonry. It's week 17 in the NFL. Give us your picks.
Yeah, so week 17, a quarterback, I like Justin Fields going against the Detroit Lions, Jared Goff going against Chicago, Aaron Rodgers against Minnesota, and I like the return of Mike White. Hopefully he can play the whole game. Those ribs are healed up going against Seattle. The Jets need to win more than anyone to try to keep their playoff hopes alive. At running back, Travis Etienne against Houston. Cam Akers has been an absolute stud. winning some playoff games for people this week going against the Chargers. And I like Tyler Algier today, constantly getting the ball now for Atlanta. I think he could be one of those guys that brings home a trophy for somebody. At wide receiver, Garrett Wilson going against Seattle. Evan Ingram's been an absolute stud at tight end lately going against Las Vegas. George Kittle, same thing, been an absolute stud the last couple of weeks, scoring touchdowns. He seems to be the guy there for Brock Purdy. And Jahan Dotson could be a guy today. Had a great rapport with Carson Wentz earlier in the season. He could be a guy today to look for to get some yards and hopefully find his way in the end zone for the Commanders today. Those are my picks for Week 17.
All right, you look like you're in the background. You're at Playland on the boardwalk in Ocean City?
As usual, I'm working today, selling tickets up here. I'm not joking. It feels like it's 70 degrees out today.
Is that right?
It's unbelievable. There's really no breeze up here. The boardwalk is absolutely packed right now. The city did a great job. They did the Ocean City first night last night, so tons of people in town, and it's going to be a great day, that's for sure.
Well, they're going to all make their way over to yesterday's in Marmora here for an Eagles game as we broadcast live until 12 noon. And then you get the Eagles official pregame show on 97.3 ESPN and Mike and Merle on the call at 1 o'clock. All right, Guru, give us your picks for your pick for today. Eagles need this win to clinch home field advantage throughout the playoffs and a first-round bye.
I'm going to take the Eagles today, 27-17.
27-17. The Birds have been averaging 29.7 points a game, so you're pretty close to that. I see Gardner Minshew playing a little bit better. Not that he played poor last week. He played rather well. I thought Gardner Minshew played well last week. Throwing for over 300 yards, a couple picks in there, but he did throw a couple TDs. So I think an extra week he'll be that much better.
I agree with you. They got to start running the ball. And, last week the defense was a little suspect. Obviously, we've got some injuries we're dealing with right now. We got to, hope guys get healed up. But nothing would be better than a win this week so we can rest some guys for next week, wrap up that bye, and move on, hopefully, a division round with a healthy squad.
All right, the fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley, as always. We really appreciate taking time. I know you're working at Playland there for Scott Simpson. But let's go, Birds, and Happy New Year to you.
Sounds great, guys. Billy, just want to give a shout-out. Obviously, we lost a friend this week. I've been doing fantasy for 30 years, and Rick that you and I work with, the guy used to call me multiple times a week. He would listen to your show every single week, would call me for my picks because he was in church Sunday mornings and, would miss my picks. But unbelievable. Ricky Moe, rest in peace, buddy. Passed away Christmas Day.
He was definitely one of my biggest fans. He listened to the show faithfully, would always call with either a criticism or a compliment, and I enjoyed his honesty and, most importantly, his friendship. We're going to miss him. Guru.
You know what he loved the most about your show? When it was you and Bobby doing the show together.
Yeah, screaming at each other.
You got it. He had a lot of fun with that, so he'll be missed for sure.
All right, Guru, thanks a lot. We really appreciate it. Rest in peace, Rick Mattis, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right, there he is, the fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley, brought to you by Padula Masonry. Ron Padula has been in business for 25 years. With his experience, when you choose Padula Masonry to complete your project, you're choosing peace of mind. Foundations, concrete, brick, stone, stucco, pavers, and more. You name it. If it has cement, they do it, and they do a great job. For more information, give them a call at 609-399-8009 or check out the website at padulamasonry.com.
And the Eagles inactives are out already. We already knew about Hurts. We knew about Maddox. We knew about Johnson, so that's no news. What's interesting is the team is down an offensive lineman, and they left Suo Peta inactive.
Wow.
So I have to wonder, are they really that hyper-emphasizing the defense and the special teams? Because remember, they got that guy Christian Ellis who's getting a lot of playing time. He's done very well on special teams. I have to wonder, Dave, are they saying, look, we'll live and die with who we got on the line, hope for the best?
I mean, that's actually a good question. Because when you're looking at you can make moves on the roster, but by injury, even if it was like kind of a fudge or a move just to I wonder what that strategy is. That's an interesting point.
So one thing about the NFL too, Dave, is like any given time you could be 3 deep in your depth. So depth is important in the NFL.
And by the way,
it's hard to get good depth with the salary cap.
And to Dave's point, the only person they elevated from the practice squad was the punter, Brett Kern.
Right.
They didn't elevate anyone else. So it's like you're going into a game without one of your, arguably not your best, one of your best offensive line. I mean, I know it's a toss-up between Lane and Kelsey, but I just wonder, was it a good idea to leave an offensive lineman inactive? And then, I don't know. It's just
it's a good question.
Something to ponder, Josh.
That's a good
Hennig.
question. Those are decisions that are also not made by the coaches a lot of times. They're made by the front office. You know what I mean? Like they're or the doctors. The doctors too. So
all right. So a quick question before we go to break. Jalen Hurts, is he still in the MVP running?
Should be, but isn't.
Okay. What do you think, Dave?
He's there. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to win it.
Okay.
But he'll be in the top 3.
He'll be a finalist when they do the NFL honors. Right now, it's probably between Burrow and Mahomes, depending on who you ask.
And the Bengals came on. Remember, they were slow out of the gate. Burrow didn't play well at the beginning. They lost Jamar Chase for a little while.
He had appendicitis,
right?
So he didn't play for a while. So when he started the first week of the season, he was, as David put it, his neurological pathways were really not in line after not playing quarterback for a month.
So it's obviously not how you start; it's how you finish.
Well, listen, but
right?
Burrow finishes well. There's a lot of people going to make a lot of money because there are a lot of people, according to Vegas, one of the biggest preseason bets were the 2 biggest preseason bets on MVP were Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. So there's a lot of people right now are pumping their fists saying, I need Joe Burrow to win this MVP.
But Dave, but I got to say, you looking at that last week's game, you could see why you're making a good argument for Jalen Hurts to be MVP. That team with Gardner Minshew, who's arguably one of the best backups in the league, if not the best. You can see that they missed him.
Yeah,
they missed Jalen Hurts
I think that's
week.
how you figure out how great the quarterbacks like Peyton Manning were and Tom Brady, because when they leave the team, look at what happens to them. And look what happens to the entire organization. You could spend all the money you want on the defense, all the money you want. If that quarterback is that good and getting that comfortable and that confident, they control the ball.
So, the Eagles still scored 34 points, albeit 7 were defense. Josh Sweat with his interception for a touchdown. They still hung 27 on the Cowboys defense with Gardner Minshew. But you still see that they were not firing on all cylinders.
No, they weren't. And Dave, I'll just throw it back to you for this. In a game like today, you played on Saturday, so you have an extra day, in between games. Do you think that factors in at all?
I love the extra day rest. Yeah. And you wouldn't necessarily practice on those days, but it gives you a whole day of training room, which is like you actually love the training room during the season, but then you're also watching film that day too. So you have an extra day just to focus on watching film and seeing even what maybe mistakes you made from the last week. You can go backwards with the extra day and watch that. And then you'll watch the upcoming week and try to get some real grasp, not the coaches having a grasp on it, but the players having a grasp on the film.
All right, we're broadcasting live from yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora for our Eagles pregame show. Want to remind people the second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club. You were greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour and 58-minute round. For more information, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. Hey, just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine that's run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. But were you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. We are broadcasting live from yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora for our Eagles pregame show. Come on down, $3 Miller Lite drafts, $8 Miller Lite pitchers. This is your Eagles headquarters for Eagles football right here at yesterday's. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Josh Hennig, and Dave Klemic on 97.3 ESPN.
Scott Graham here from Westwood One. It's AFC North action for Sunday Night Football when rookie quarterback Kenny Pickett and the Pittsburgh Steelers travel to Baltimore to face the 10-5 Ravens. Baltimore, awaiting the return of Lamar Jackson, has clinched a playoff bid. but needs to win to keep pace in the division race. Ryan Ratke and Mike Golick will have the call on Sunday Night Football.
Listen to Sunday Night Football on 97.3 ESPN. Coverage begins at 8 p.m.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson and Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson and Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson and Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number one.
Every year, hundreds of children suffer from unintentional injuries or death due to unsecured guns. Camden County and Moms Demand Action South Jersey are asking for your help to reduce gun violence by spreading the Be Smart message.
Store guns unloaded, locked, and separate from ammunition. And talk to other parents about secure gun storage.
It's up to us to prevent these tragedies and save lives. Visit CamdenCounty.com/Be Smart to learn how we can stop gun accidents and deaths together.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
This is Matt Crowder live at the gas station on 41st Street, reporting on those skyrocketing gas prices. Excuse me, miss, are you buying less gas now because of the high prices?
Oh, I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute, are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Well, does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow. Well, there you have it. Stop paying full price for gas. Download the free Upside app and get real cash back every time you buy gas. This is Matt Crowder Radio News Network. Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code LOT for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or any gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code LOT for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code LOT.
Wait, stop the countdown. It's the final days of the Kia Season of Giving Back sales event. So bring any trade to Matt Blatt Kia and drive home in a brand new Kia, even with 0 down and 0% APR financing for 36 months. Don't see your new Kia on the lot today? That does not mean you can't drive it home tomorrow. With peace of mind, Matt Blatt Kia's exclusive 4-day love it or leave it return policy. So if you have a job clearing $350 per week at Matt Blatt Kia, you are virtually approved. So why pay more when you can pay 0% with 0 down?
It's gotta be a Matt Blatt Kia.
Rate qualifications exist with approved credit. $27.78 per thousand financed on in-stock 2023 Sorento Hybrid. Not all will qualify. Go to MattBlattKiaNJ.com for complete details or 888-505-6670. Price includes all costs to be paid by consumer except for licensing, registration, and taxes. Expires 1/31/23. Matt Blatt Kia, 6211 Black Horse Pike, Egg Harbor Township. And now on Route 37 and Tom's River.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
Broadcasting live from yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora for our Eagles pregame show. Josh Hennig, Billy Schweim, and former Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Dave Klemic as we broadcast live today as Eagles headquarters, as it always is, here at yesterday's $3 Miller Lite drafts, $8 Miller Lite pitchers, specialty drinks, the Touchdown Mule, Cowboy Tears, Eagle Green Tea, Philly Special, and more. And this is a great place. We've had a lot of fun all season long here at yesterday's. And right now we're joined with one of the waitresses, Brooke. How you doing, Brooke?
How are you?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Now it's not a secret, but your dad, Eddie B, the bartender, who's a Giants fan.
He is.
What the heck? It's good to hear that you're not a Giants fan, that he didn't rub off on you.
I was raised one, but now I have my own opinions for sure.
She has her own
That's
opinions.
called being an adult.
Exactly. Growing
Independent
up,
thought.
It's great.
Brooke, you've been down here for and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Is it great when the whole bar sings, everybody's singing
it's
Eagles?
Amazing. We have the biggest parties. Yeah, lines out the door. So much fun.
All right. The Eagles play the Saints today at 1 o'clock. What do you think? What you give us a prediction. You're going to give us yesterday's prediction here today.
Okay.
What do you think? Who's going to win the game by how much? Here, Scott Grayson from Fox 20. Listen, Fox Grayson from Fox 29 News said 31-13.
Okay.
The fantasy football guru Brian Hartley said Eagles 27-17. Your boss, the manager Chuck is here looking over you. You better say the right thing.
Right over my shoulder. I'm gonna go with 24-10.
Eagles 24-10 with Brooke. Come on down. Tip the bartenders and servers. They work really hard. They do a great job. They get your food to you and your drinks to you lickety split, even though the house is packed. Brooke, you guys do a great job. We really appreciate
Thank you.
it.
We appreciate you guys always, every Sunday.
All right,
Thank you.
there it is. Brooke, Eddie B's daughter's here, the whole gang. Sean just had a baby. Bartender Sean, want to congratulate him. Congratulations. Chuck, here comes Chuck, the man of the hour.
Billy, we got a live one on the house phone. Your daughter's on the phone.
My daughter's on the for real?
Yeah.
What?
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
My daughter. Well, why did she call me to my phone? Yeah, I'm not going to be able to talk to her though.
Sorry, Billy's busy.
Billy's busy right now. Tell him I'll call me. Are you serious? My daughter's on the phone.
Apparently she needs lunch money. It's all
Chuck, what do you say today, Chuck?
I'm going to go 27-17. Gardner Minshew, 3 touchdowns. We clinched the division, and next week, Ian Book game.
Hey, Ian Book. Chuck, I want to say we want to thank you so much. We've had such a wonderful time here at Yesterday's. It's been a great environment. And, heck, the Eagles are winning, which makes it a lot more fun.
Makes it a lot easier when the Eagles are winning.
But I got to tell you, the enthusiasm and the excitement that when you come to Yesterday's throughout the season, it's been great.
Guys, it's been a wonderful partnership. We couldn't be happier with the season so far, and it's what we do here. We throw parties. There's always something going on.
Always something going on. There's not a bad seat in the house, Josh. Every TV, you can see every big screen TV. You can hear the games live. It's great.
Yeah, it's just it couldn't have fell into a better spot this year with the Eagles really taking off with us changing ownership and redoing the place. It's been a home run. Like I said,
so we'll basically give you credit for the Eagles' success.
Correct, Josh. You're absolutely correct. Howie Roseman and Chuck Thompson.
All right, let's get Dave Klemic back in here. Brooke, thank you so much. We're going to do our picks. Let's start off with you, Josh Hennig. It's a few minutes left in the show here. Everybody's picking the Eagles. You know what? One thing is, and I know we're here at Yesterday's. The Eagles have been playing really well. They're 13-2. Nobody's picked against them.
Why should they?
I know. Well, they've 2 games they lost when nobody saw that coming. All right, so I just wanted to throw that out there. What say you?
The Eagles have won 15 straight games on Sundays. Their only losses have not been on Sundays.
Right. How about that?
Think about that. Monday Night Football.
And the only times they've lost is when they turn the ball over three or more times.
So I'm going to say they win today because they're not going to turn the ball over 4 times, and they're playing on Sunday. No, but seriously, I think this is a game where the defense has to come out and show that they're serious. You can't let what happened in the Cowboys game happen again. You're playing against an inferior offense with an inferior quarterback with an inferior offensive line. You have to go out there and kick him in the teeth.
Do your job.
Do your job. So I have the Eagles winning, and I think Ian Book plays today.
Is that right?
I have the Eagles winning 35-13.
35-13. Josh Hennig. Of course, you can catch Josh Monday through Friday on game night.
Except for tomorrow.
We
got both games tomorrow. We'll be back live
ESPN
on Tuesday.
Okay. Dave Klemic, former Kansas City Chief, mainland high school football star. What say you?
I'm going to say we're going Eagles 34 and Saints 17. Also, quick shout out to Bo Melton, who's going to make his appearance for the Green Bay Packers today. He's a local guy. I coached him.
Great.
A Cedar Creek football player, played for Rutgers. The great son of the great Gary Melton, and his brother's playing. He's going to be a draft pick probably this year.
Malachi.
We've had a lot of local kids making the NFL.
Isaiah Pacheco's with the Chiefs.
Pacheco's the Chiefs. I went to a wedding last night and I sat with Austin Johnson from the Chargers.
I believe DeJuan Johnson is playing for he went to Glassboro. He's with the Saints today.
Don't forget Abdullah Anderson from Galloway. He's been in the NFL for a few years.
All right, listen, I get to go last. I say the Eagles win today. and they win in convincing fashion, 34-13. And you're going to have a big game from Gardner Minshew. All right, guys. Minshew Mania. Come on down to yesterday's, watch the game at yesterday's Creekside Tavern. We'll be hanging out here watching the game. Eagles, Saints, 97.3 ESPN. Want to thank Dave Klemic.
Thanks for having me.
We enjoy having you here, Dave. I want to thank Scott Grayson from Fox 29 News, the fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley. As always, Nick Earnshaw back in the studio. Josh Hennig, thank you so much. You do outstanding work. Thanks for making the locker room part of your Sunday, because nothing could be finer than talking sports with the Schweiner. Come on down to yesterday's and enjoy the game. Let's go, Birds. Happy New Year, everybody.
This is South Jersey's radio home